Well, welcome class to week 2 of PRM601 Project Scope and Scheduling. Again, this is Bill Johnson, your instructor. Well, this week we look at developing the first of the 3 baselines that we'll be creating and developing over the life of this course, that being the scope baseline. Now, the scope baseline really consists of 3 different things. The scope statement, which is really a narration of what this project is all about, including the objective it will meet, what are its deliverables, and perhaps identifying some of the work that will be done in order to do it. The second being the WBS, or work breakdown structure. Now that is what you will be working on this week for your individual projects. Now, the work breakdown structure really is a decomposition of the deliverables that you identified in your SOW in week 1 into what is known as subdeliverables and work packages, and we'll get into that in just a minute. And then the third component of the scope baseline is the WBS dictionary, which provides you with more detailed information about each of the various deliverables, subdeliverables, and work packages that you've identified in your WBS. Now, I encourage you to read chapters 5 in both Pinto and the PMBOK guide, as they really go into what is involved in developing this scope baseline, and as well as the WBS. So I encourage you to go and do that reading in both of your textbooks this week. And for this week, I'm expecting 4 different assignments from you. The first being your weekly exercise, or create a WBS. We'll get into that in just a second here. The second being the discussion, which once again focuses on your weekly exercise, providing your fellow classmates with some suggestions as to how they could improve their WBS this week and what you thought they did well. Then there is the third one, which is a quiz, something new this week. I think there are 10 questions in the quiz this week, multiple choice or true false. It's based on your readings, so nothing over the top there. You are allowed to take the quiz twice, and Engage will take the best score of the 2 times that you take the quiz and use that for your grade. So be aware that you're allowed twice to take the quiz. And then the fourth one, again, is What Did I Learn This Week? Blog, my favorite part of each week, because I kind of get an idea where each of you are over the life of the course. So those are the 4 assignments I'm expecting. Your weekly exercise, create a work breakdown structure, participate in the discussion, which is based on your weekly exercise, and then the quiz, as well as what did I learn this week. So let's take a closer look at your weekly exercise, creative work breakdown structure. Now, your work breakdown structure is based on your SOW that you created in week 1, specifically taking your deliverables that you identified in your statement of work in week 1 and decomposing them into subdeliverables and work packages. As I said, in chapters 5 and in both Pinto as well as PMBOK, they do go into this process quite in detail. I do encourage you to go back and review that information. Once you have identified all of the various deliverables you have, and you should have between 7 and 10 deliverables for your WBS, your level 2 deliverables that is, you will need to decompose them into subdeliverables and work packages. And I encourage you to take a look at figure 5.3 in Pinto on page 168, as well as figures 5.12, 5.13, and 5.14 in your PMBOK guide. These are good examples of what your WBS should look like. So you should take your 7 to 10 deliverables and decompose them into work subdeliverables and work packages. Now I'm expecting approximately a total of 35 deliverables, subdeliverables, and work packages for your projects. So be aware of that. I'm looking for around 30 to 35, perhaps for lack of a better term, boxes on your WBS. Now, what are you going to use to create this? There are two different applications that you can use, and I highlight those in the overview this week in the announcements. The first one being there is a Smart Art function in Microsoft Word that you can use. You can also use Visio in order to create your WBS. Now, I'll be demonstrating how to use both of these at our Zoom meeting on Monday night at 7:30. So I encourage you to join us on Monday evening at 7:30 to see how to create a WBS similar to those figures that I identified, 5.3 in Pinto, and then 5.12, 13, and 14 in the PMBOK guide. So that is the exercise this week. You'll need to take your deliverables that you have identified in the SOW that you created in week 1 and decompose them into subdeliverables and work packages as described in Pinto and the PMBOK guide in chapters 5 there. One last thing I forgot to add is one of your deliverables needs to be project management, and I will show you how to decompose project management for your WBS. So that's what we're looking at this week for your weekly exercise. Once again, when you'll be creating a rough draft that is not graded, that is uploaded into the discussion by Wednesday evening at 11:59. And then the discussion, once again, will run from Thursday through Saturday, and I'll expect 5 substantive posts. Please do take a look at some excellent discussion posts that I posted last week in the announcements to get some idea about what I'm looking for there. And then once the discussion is complete, taking the advice that your fellow classmates have given you and create a final draft that you'll be submitting on Sunday evening by 11:59. So that's week 2. One last thing I want to talk about is I want to make sure that everybody has downloaded Microsoft Project. I hope the download experience wasn't too awful. It's not an easy process, I know that. So I do hope you have. If you have any questions about that, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. If you have not, you do need to download it this week, as well as Visio, because you will definitely need Visio for next week's assignment. So with that, welcome to week 2 of PRM601. Please let me know if you have any questions or concerns. I'll be more than happy to answer them. And I look forward to seeing you Monday evening at 7:30 for the Zoom meeting. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.